Today, the Magpie team are doing the programme in their normal surroundings in the studio. But if they want to do something completely different, the studio has to have special scenery put into it. Watch. For instance, if they want to do a story in a castle, the scenery must look very old and big. This can be done with the help of a sheet of glass. An artist paints a picture of part of that castle on a big piece of glass. And while the artist is busy, the things you'd expect to find in a ghostly castle are put in front of the scenery. Including a coffin. Now the artist has finished painting the piece of glass, and it's put in front of the camera so that the scenery looks like a huge room in a castle. Look. So now you know how the scenery is put into the studio. But you know, the studio is only half the story when you're making a television programme. There's another very important room. There it is there, and it's called the control room. And on the inside, this is what it looks like. This is the place where the director sits with all his helpers. Now, the director is in charge of the programme. He's the man who tells Jenny, Mick and Doug what he wants them to do, and he also tells the cameramen where to move their cameras.
Camera 2, pan right and dead down.
Camera 2, listen on Mick, please.
If the director wants to say something to Mick in the studio, how can he do this without you hearing his voice at home? Well, he asks the floor manager to do it.
Kerry, ask Mick to move a little to his left for the opening shot, please.
Now, the floor manager is wearing special headphones so that he can hear the director in the control room. And that's very important, because it would spoil the programme if you had to listen to what the director was saying as well as listening to what Mick was saying. And the cameramen also wear headphones so that they can hear where they have to put their cameras. And the director can tell them that by looking at all these screens here in the control room and talking to them outside in the studio from in here. There are 3 cameras in the studio, and the picture from each one of these cameras is seen in the control room on its own TV screen. Here in the control room, the director decides which of these pictures he wants you to see. And of course there has to be a person to change those pictures, and his name is a vision mixer. Now, the vision mixer can do some very interesting things with the pictures that he has in front of him. For instance, there's a close-up of Mick on one camera. But if we want to see a bit more of Mick, he changes from one picture on one camera to another picture on another camera. Did you get that? There's a close-up of Mick on one camera, and to see more of him, we change to another picture, there you are, on another camera. The picture changed instantly the way he pressed that button. And there is another way that we can change the picture in the studio, not by pressing a button to change from one camera very quickly to another one, but by taking 2 cameras and 2 pictures and mixing them both together very slowly and gently. Watch. And this is what it looks like when you get it in the studio. There's a close-up of Mick on one camera, mixed into another. And these special buttons can change the picture in lots of different ways. The vision mixer can put one picture from one camera on top of another picture from another camera. This camera is taking a picture of a card with Mick's name on it. And this camera is taking a picture of Mick. Now let's see what happens when the vision mixer puts the one picture on top of the other. Mick Robertson, Mick, and the card.
2 minutes, studio, 2 minutes.
Next to the director is his assistant. She reminds him of the notes that he's made during rehearsals and keeps a careful check on the time. The last thing that happens in the studio before the programme starts is that the makeup girl puts the last touches to the team's faces. She's now checking on Mick's face to see that it's not too pale or too red or perhaps too shiny from the heat of the studio lights. Of course, some makeup girls have quite difficult work to do. Imagine trying to make Mick into a monster.
I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise,
He did the mash.
he did the monster mash.
The monster mash.
It was a graveyard
He
smash.
did the mash.
It caught on in a flash.
He did the mash.
He did the monster mash. From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abode to get a jolt from my electrode.
Again.
And now it's almost time to start Magpie.
20 seconds, studio. Stand by telecine. In 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Roll telecine. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
One for sorrow, two for
15
joy, three for a girl and four for a boy, five for silver, six for gold, seven for a secret never to be told.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the programme. Later on, we've got a pop slot and we're going to be featuring special new band from Manchester.
And I'll be up to my neck in water again, having a go on an Aqueon Aquanaut. And I bet you don't know what that is.
Sounds a bit
No.
wet.
Fascinated there. Mickey will be trying to say Eckelfecken properly. We'll be skiing on grass and looking at a collage exhibition. But first,
Back to him.
Thank you very much, and we'll start off with news of the Magpie rally car.
Well, while you're watching Magpie quietly at home, everyone here in the studios is working very hard and nobody's got a moment to relax. Because remember, at the time you're actually watching Magpie, it's really being made here in the studios. And everybody has to keep on their toes.
great.
It's great, eh?
Yep, I better get
Go!
How long have we got? 2 seconds now.
Mick and Doug are waiting for their signal to start News Desk. Well, you've seen News Desk and you know what Mick and Doug look like. But what do they see? Well, this is what they're looking at. They're looking at the cameras, the lights, the microphone, the floor manager, and all the other helpers on the floor of Magpie programme. Amazing, isn't it, how anyone could remember what they had to say?
How are we doing for time, Anne?
5 seconds, too long.
Kerry, ask Mick to speed up a bit, please.
The programme is nearly finished now, and Doug, Jenny and Mick are about to say goodbye.
Well, on Tuesday we're going down into the country for a programme all about H2O.
Yeah, I think he means water.
Duh,
I'll be finding out if this really does work, actually, practically, and also be trying to keep dry on top of the water skiing.
Yes, I shall be getting very, very wet, going down below the surface to look at some fish.
And I'm going to try paragliding above the water.
Brave
Good
man.
for you.
See you Tuesday.
Yeah.
One for sorrow, two for joy, three for a girl and four for a boy, five for silver, six for gold, seven for a secret never to be told.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Nice programme, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Mick. Thank you, Doug. An excellent programme.
Well, with the time at 10:35 at the moment, Thames Television is taking a break from schools programmes at the moment. In the meantime, we'll return you to a trade test transmission.